How can blue light help you be more productive? This might sound a little silly, but it's been scientifically proven, through a series of experiments, that blue light does actually help you get more from what little sleep you might be getting. A study carried out by the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in the US, specifically the LRC Light and Health Program, found that exposure to blue light in the morning helped a group of teenagers with the symptoms of sleep deprivation. Everyone knows that when we're teenagers that we sometimes struggle to get off to sleep at a decent time. This team, with the fact that we're normally up really early to be on time for school, results in a lot of teens not getting enough sleep. This lack of sleep may lead to complications including behavioural issues, depression, poor performance in class, and even drug abuse. So what is it that this burst of blue light does to help? Well, it's all to do with cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that our adrenal glands secrete naturally, and it's responsible for activating the anti-stress and anti-inflammatory pathways in our bodies. Levels of cortisol in your body follow a 24-hour routine, where they're high in the morning, gradually decreasing toward the evening, and then slowly rising again through the night. But when you wake up, they jump suddenly in the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking. This jump upon awakening is known as the cortisol awakening response, or CAR. Your natural body clock is regulated by another hormone called melatonin, which is released by the pineal gland in your brain. This hormone causes drowsiness and starts the sleep cycle off by lowering your body temperature, and a couple of other things. Melatonin production is suppressed when low light, such as blue light, hits your retina, like it's happening throughout the day. Which is why without the light in the evenings, we start to feel drowsy and then fall asleep. Sleep therapists even recommend that people who are struggling to get that drowsy feeling should try wearing blue light blocking goggles, which usually spurs on the pineal gland and creating more melatonin. As you may have already guessed, this is why the blue light exposure in the morning helps you wake up. So if you get exposed to blue light as soon as you wake up, during the time that your cortisol levels are rapidly rising, then your pineal gland will stop secreting melatonin, thus maximising the effects of the cortisol and raising your CAR. The studies show that people with a higher CAR are better equipped to deal with stress and other challenges throughout the day. I think it's about time I got me a blue light. This next story brings us nicely back over to the UK. Surgeons at New Cross Hospital in Wolverhampton have recently performed the first open heart surgery operation using a robot. Natalie Jones, a 22-year-old woman who had a hole in her heart, was the first to have this groundbreaking surgery. Usually to perform heart surgery, surgeons have to remove the breastplate, which is a substantial challenge and creates a lot of risk. Now, however, they can perform heart surgery through incisions between the ribs. It's a much faster, safer and less painful way of getting the job done, and it's all thanks to Da Vinci. I'm obviously not on about the famous sculptor, artist and anatomist who's been dead for centuries, but a robot that's been named after him. The ingenious surgical robot has revolutionised surgery, making it much safer, easier and faster for both patient and surgeon. The surgical bot has 4 mechanical arms that are inserted into the patient. The surgeon then sits comfortably at a console where he operates the robot. The system provides the surgeon with a 3D view of the organ being operated on. When the surgeon moves his remote tools 3mm, the robot moves its tools just 1mm, so it makes for a much more precise movement, and it keeps the surgeon more comfortable so he can work for longer periods without tiring, which is a good thing seeing that Natalie's operation took 9 hours. Natalie is now awake and recovering happily in hospital. She wants to get home quickly to take care of a 20-month-old son, and thanks to Da Vinci, the healing process will be much shorter. So get well soon, Natalie. Hope you're feeling a lot better. Another bit of robotic genius that we've been keeping our eye on in the show is Curiosity. This week we've still not got much to report in the way of findings, but they have finally managed to get some analysis of some material from the surface in the Chemin laboratory. Yesterday on Sol 76, see last week's video for a definition of Sol, the rover managed to get some material onto its little analysis tray. There's another lab that's still yet to get some material into, being SAM, the Sample Analysis Mars unit, but that's sure to come in the next week. One thing that they have been doing though is zapping some sand with the rover's ChemCam laser to try and determine what minerals are present in the sand. So far they're still to disclose any results of what they've actually discovered, but it is still early days. Maybe it batch transmits them down to save energy, we just don't know. What we do know though is that as soon as we find out, we'll keep you updated on our weekly news shows, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. If you can't wait till next week and want to know the goss as soon as it happens, then you can follow Mars Curiosity on Twitter or visit the NASA website. Links to both are in the description below. Don't forget to send us your science questions and topics on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, or in the comments below, and we'll cover them in our next show. You can find links to more from us here at Deej in the next screen, so stick around. But for this week, that's all we've got time for. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Wednesday.